When Jack Canfield spoke at a recent networking event attended by more than 900 people, he started his presentation by asking the audience, "How many of you came here today hoping to do a little business? Even make a sale?" The overwhelming majority of people raised their hands. Then he asked, "How many of you here today were hoping to buy something?" Not one person, not one single person raised their hand. This is the great disconnect about networking and what it's really all about. If you're attending networking events hoping to sell something, you're dreaming. Don't confuse direct selling with networking. Effective networking is all about developing relationships. Of course, there'll always be someone who says, "Ivan, I've made a sale attending a networking event." But for most people, stumbling upon a new customer or making an on-the-spot sale often happens in the last solar eclipse, a blue moon. And when most people are at the event, they're also trying to sell, which virtually means no one is there to buy. You're crazy if you think the odds are in your favor to sell at a networking event. So why go? Because networking is more about farming than about hunting. Let me explain. It's about developing relationships with other business professionals. Sometimes you want to attend a networking event to increase your visibility. Other times, you'll establish further credibility with people you know. And sometimes you might attend simply to meet a lifelong friend or associate to further that business and move to profitability. In any case, truly successful networkers focus more on moving through the VCP process than closing deals itself. Let me explain what the VCP process is. The first one is visibility. The first phase of growing a relationship is visibility. You and another individual become aware of each other in terms of business, and this business and an individual who is a potential to source a future of referrals or even a potential customer has just become aware of the nature of your business, and perhaps because of the public relations and the advertising efforts, or perhaps through someone else you know as a result of that. This person may observe you in the act of conducting business or relating with people around you. Soon, the two of you begin communicating and establishing links, perhaps a question or two over the phone about product availability. You may become personally acquainted on a work and first name basis, but you know little else about each other. From several of these types of relationships, you'll emerge with what's called a casual contact network, a sort of de facto association based on one or more of the shared interests you have with each other. The visibility phase is important. The more widely known you will be, the more information you'll be able to obtain from others, the more opportunities you'll be exposed to, and the greater your chances will be of actually being accepted by other individuals or groups as someone who can or should refer business. Visibility must be actively maintained and developed. Without it, it cannot be moved on to the next level of credibility. And this is the C in VCP. So what does credibility mean? It means reliable and worthy of someone's confidence. Once you and your new acquaintance begin to form expectations of each other, and those expectations are fulfilled, your relationships can be entered into the credibility stage. If a person is confident of gaining satisfaction from your relationships, then it will continue to strengthen as a result of that. Credibility grows when appointments are kept, promises are acted upon, facts are verified, and services are rendered. The old saying that results speak louder than words are true here. Failure to live up to expectations is to keep both explicit and implicit promises. Can kill a budding relationship before it even has a chance to grow. What's worse, this failure can create visibility of a kind you really don't want. To determine how credible you are, people often turn to third parties. They ask someone they know who has known you longer or perhaps even done business with you in the past. Will that person vouch for you? Are you honest? Are your products or services effective? Are you someone who can be counted on in a crunch? And if that's the case, you can move on to the P, the profitability stage. Of course, a mature networking relationship, whether business or personal, is where profitability occurs. It is mutually rewarding. Do both partners gain satisfaction from it? If it doesn't profit both partners to keep the relationships going, it probably won't endure the test of time. So how long does it take to move from the various stages of developing a relationship? Well, it's highly variable in this conversation. In fact, it's not even easy to determine whether profitability has even been achieved in a week, a month, or 1 year. In some cases, such as when urgent need arises, you and the other person may proceed from visibility or credibility to credibility overnight. The same is true of profitability. It may happen quickly or it may take years. Most likely, it is somewhere in between. This is where I often say to people, when you network with other people, the object of the exercise is not to sell somebody something, but to gain somebody's credibility. Because if you're no first place, make damn sure you're in second place. Most people in sales will know and understand that. Because at some point in time, I've always been told they'll fall out with first place and the person they use all the time. And then they know that they can come to you just in case. Of course, much depends on the frequency and the quality of your contact with each other, but especially on both the desires of both parties to move the relationship forward. This is why short-sightedness at any stage can hinder or even stop the full development of that relationship. Perhaps you're a customer who's networked and done several businesses with certain vendors off and on for several months. But to save you pennies, you keep hunting around for the lowest price, ignoring the value this vendor provides you in terms of service, hours, goodwill, and reliability. That counts for everything if you need things on time. Goodwill, service, and reliability is more important than price, especially when you need it. And especially in a time like this when you need contractors to refurb your properties. If you're the person that's stuck by them all this time in the past, who do you think they're going to look after? If you're the person that paid them on time every time and they never had to chase anything, who do you think they're going to do business with when you ask? You. Are you really profiting from the new relationship, or are you stunting its growth? Perhaps if you gave this vendor all your business instead of continuing to shop around for better pricing, you could work out terms which would benefit the both of you. Profitability is not found by bargain hunting. It must be cultivated, and like farming, it takes patience and time. What's another major benefit of the profitability stage is the relationships. Referrals come to you from people with whom you've networked. When you've established an effective network, when you've entered the profitability stage of your relationships with many people, your finely tuned referral generation system will send you referrals and customers as a natural result of what you do day to day. Profitability happens when there are benefits going both ways. This is not a one-sided equation. It's not all about you. It's more about them and what you could do for them. And what ultimately you'll get that back. Cast out bread upon the waters and it'll come back tenfold. I don't know if that's a saying or not, but somebody will be able to tell me. Whether the referrals, information, support, or something else, your ultimate goal is to be meaningful and mutual payoff in the relationship. Janet Schweitzer, okay, in this conversation, let's talk about, of course, profitability stage of a relationship is limited to making money from a new customer or a client acquired through a referral. It may come in the form of connection to someone who can help you launch a new initiative or otherwise grow your business. It may include access to a mentor or professional advisor or a contact in other industry who can help you expand your network and your market share or enter a new market itself. It might be the ability to delegate more of your workload, gain substantial free time for your hobby or personal interests, or spend more quality time with family members. Remember, the opportunity to network is everywhere. 80% of success is actually turning up. You never know where you're going to find your next connection. Early one spring morning, Jean McDonald stopped at Dunkin' Donuts for a coffee. The line was out the door, but longing for that caffeine fix, she decided to wait. While she was standing there, the woman in front of her commented, what's this kind of traffic? I should own one of these stores. With that opening, Jean started up a conversation and mentioned she was an entrepreneur who helped women look good and feel good. She went on to tell her that she was a Mary Kay Cosmetics and that it was a wonderful opportunity. The woman in line told her she was a Girl Scout troop leader and she was looking for someone to talk to the girls about skincare. Jean took her information and she got in touch with her. Meanwhile, the woman behind her heard the conversation and told Jean she was a nurse and was very interested in Mary Kay hand treatment products. She asked if Jean could come to her office and provide her some pampering. Jean took the information too. But it didn't end there. The man behind her then joined in, telling her that his sister loved Mary Kay products, but she'd lost her representative. Jean took the sister's contact information too. 3 strong leads, all from just chatting to people on a line and all before 7:30 a.m. in the morning. But the story doesn't end there, because at this point, all Jean had were leads, strong leads, but leads nonetheless. Remember, 99% of all success in life is actually following up. It's all very well to say, oh, right, okay, I've done it. Right, see you later. Bye-bye. Call me when you're ready. That's not what you do. Lift up the phone, contact them again, email them, do whatever it needs to take, and get in touch with the person again. I know it's just a yes waiting to happen at some point in time. Networking is so much more than just meeting people. It's following up and following through and continue to connect and reconnect over and over again. Jean connected with the Girl Scout leader and she pampered 12 girls and several mothers. The troop leader loved what she did so much that she became a new consultant on her team. The nurse was so pleased with the products that when she met Jean individually for a one-off appointment, she also became a Mary Kay consultant. Now, here's the kicker. The sister of the man she spoke with in the line was a local mortician. And she told Jane she loved the look of the Mary Kay products on all her customers. And it turns out the products gave luster and life to dead skin too. Ultimately, she introduced Jane to several local funeral homes, resulting in about £3,000 worth of product sales. As a result of these connections, Jane's team became the leaders in the community for the Girl Scouts. They've developed the business with many nurses, doctors, offices, and funeral directors. And Jane's team earned the first pink Cadillac in that area. The moral of the story is you never know where you're going to find the next connection. And once you find that connection, you must follow up to get the results. As Robert Kiyosaki once said, the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else just looks for work. And I'll see you tomorrow.